What's going on, guys? Welcome back to more Food Tales. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys drop a like, drop a comment down below, and make sure you guys subscribe for any future videos. Let's get into this. Okay, guys, you guys see the title of the video. Today we're going to be making pizza. I'm going to show you how easy and simple it is to make pizza right at home. You don't got to be intimidated by it. It's super easy. Stay tuned, guys. Okay, guys, so before we get into the voiceover, I'm just going to go over everything we have here for our pizza dough. We have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We have 3/4 cup of warm water. We have a teaspoon of salt. We have 1 full tablespoon of sugar. And then we have 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Okay, guys, so for the salt, make sure you guys add it to the flour mixture. You don't want to add it in with the yeast because it will slow down the process. As you can see, the temperature is at 99 degrees Fahrenheit, so you want it around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I've added in sugar to feed the yeast. That's going to help it to grow. And you just stir that together, and after 5 minutes, you're going to see that it's foamed up, and you know that the yeast has activated. Okay, guys, so when mixing your dough, you want to make sure that you're using a spatula just to start off. You're going to see that I switched to my hands because there's nothing better than actually feeling the dough, feeling the consistency. And you're just going to pretty much combine that together before we start the kneading process. So that's what you'll see in the next clip. And as I said, yeah, make sure you start mixing with your hands at this point. Okay, guys, so we're going to flour our surface and we're going to turn out our dough onto the counter very quickly. If you're going to be using your counter, make sure you guys disinfect it with some vinegar and hot water. That's what I usually do anytime I'm making any kind of dough. So we're going to knead this for about 10 minutes. It shouldn't take anything longer than that. And then what you're going to see is that once I put it into a little round ball, I'm going to poke it with my finger. And it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's pretty much going to spring back to you. That's when you know everything is good to go. Okay, so we're just going to oil our bowl to make sure our dough does not stick when it's rising. We're going to hit that with some plastic wrap, put it in our oven for about 2 hours with the light on. That's really going to help it to grow and to double in size. Also, it's very important, usually an hour in, I will take my dough out and rest it onto the counter, and I'll start the process of putting my oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'll let that go for 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, guys, so for my pizza sauce, I did make it the night before. I do recommend making your pizza sauce the night before, and you do not need to cook down your pizza sauce. I find you get a much better taste when you don't cook it down. It will cook when it's in the oven cooking the pizza. Just mix everything together, and you put it in the fridge, and you just let it go overnight. And I will run the clip from last night and show you exactly how I made it.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Okay, guys, so our dough has been punched down and we're just putting it onto our floured surface. So when making pizza, you can honestly use a roller to kind of roll out your dough, but I prefer not to. I want all those nice air pockets, so I'm going to use my fingertips and kind of edge everything out. The pan that I'm using, make sure it's oiled up very nicely because that's going to give you a really nice browning. You do not need to use any cornmeal with this since we are using a pan. There's no need to use that. So as you can see, I've used my fingertips to fan everything out to the edge, and it is a perfect circle. So as I said, you can use a roller, but I would recommend not doing that. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we have our pizza sauce that we made. I'm kind of using a little bit of a bigger scoop, but you're going to see that in the next clip. I'm going to be changing to a spoon because when it's getting to like the edge where the crust is going to come in, you want to make sure that you have something a little bit smaller. And guys, in the next clip, you're going to see me add on the cheese to my pizza. Make sure you guys use low moisture mozzarella cheese, specifically in the block form, and shred it yourself. Most pre-shredded cheese has non-caking agents in it, so you don't want that. It's really going to affect the melting and the browning of your cheese, and it's going to be a lot less moisture, so you don't have to worry about getting any soggy pieces on your pizza. Okay guys, in this clip you're going to see me adding a little bit of olive oil to the edge of our pizza. So our crust is going to have a nice little olive oil taste. It's definitely a nice added addition. It's optional, but I definitely do recommend it. Guys, so it's been a little bit over 10 minutes now and the pizza is all done. As you see, the cheese has fully melted. And man, that looks good. Can't wait to eat that. Oh man. Guys, this is exactly how you make homemade pizza. And I'm gonna quickly cut that because you wanna make sure you cut it while it's still hot. And you can see just the oil oozing, and I can't wait to get into this, guys. Okay guys, we're all done. So we've officially made our homemade pizza, and guys, it came out amazing. This is exactly, it's not as hot anymore. We're gonna back up. That's how it's looking like, guys. So I'm gonna take the first slice. I'm excited for this one. Oh, look at that cheese pull. I just want to show you guys, okay? So most people, they use a pizza stone because they need the back to have a nice crust. So this is exactly how it came out, and here's the first bite, guys. That's very good. It's hot. Honestly guys, you don't have to, I mean, you can always go out and get store-bought pizza, but there's nothing that beats homemade pizza that you've made with your own two hands. Like, I mean, just look at this. I cooked it for about 11 minutes. So I cooked it on 450, as I mentioned. I find if you're gonna have a little bit of a thicker dough, my dough's not crazy thick, I would say 450 is the best. If you wanna get like a good like browning on the top, then just put it to broil. If you really want like the cheese to have like a really good browning. But as I said, it came out perfect. All right, let me take one from the front here. I'm gonna give you guys a better inspection of it. Yeah, that honestly, I had the oven on for so long, it's still so hot in my house. So if I'm sweating a little bit, that's why. Yep. With a nice crusty bottom. Everyone wants a nice crusty bottom. That's why a lot of times people make pizza at home. It comes up very like soggy. The bottom doesn't have that crust. You can't even like, you know, bend it like this without it hanging down, so. The pan that I'm using is a 12-inch pan. The recipe that I used, you could make 2 pizzas out of that. It definitely would be a little bit thin. But as I said, this is a 12-inch. So this is what a 12-inch will look like after you're done making it. It's still kind of hot. Oh, man. There's nothing like pizza, man. I mean, pizza is like, who doesn't like pizza? Like, I've never met anyone who doesn't like pizza. You see my crust is not, I don't really have a crazy crust. I like crust, but I don't like too much crust. So I feel like this is kind of like a good ratio for me. And then putting the olive oil at the end on it, around the edge, really helps it. Like it tastes like you're eating breadsticks pretty much. All right, I think I'm gonna have one more on camera. So, oh man. You see that? Straight. That's what you want your pizza to be, like straight. That's when you know you have that good crust, guys. It's not hanging down. Can you do the fold? Of course you can do the fold. You already know how straight it is. Perfect. Just like that. We're ready to eat that, guys. Wow. Oh, that's really good, man. So for next week, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I have a special episode for you guys. I'm just waiting on some things in the back end to come through, and I have something pretty exciting for next week's video. If it's not next week, it'll be the week after, but definitely stay tuned for that, guys. I don't want to say too much, because I want to make sure, sorry, I want to make sure everything goes through. Oh man, that's really good, guys. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, showing you guys how to make homemade pizza. There's no need to be intimidated or to be scared. You don't need a pizza stone. You don't need a wood fire oven. I do recommend having them, but not everyone's gonna have a wood fire oven in their home, right? Like, you're not gonna get that same restaurant quality of that nice crust, but for homemade pizza, guys, this is pretty good. So definitely follow my recipe. I'll show you guys one more little look before we sign off. And that's how it's looking like, guys. Before you guys head off of this video, make sure you guys drop a big like for me, drop a comment down below, and make sure you guys subscribe and turn on your post notifications for any future videos. The channel has been growing, so I'm super happy about that. As I mentioned before, my past videos, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at sashin.marfoodtail. You'll get any marfoodtail related updates right on my Instagram. As I said, guys, next week, I'm praying it comes through because it's going to be a banger, so I'm excited for that. And guys, you already know how it goes. If you're Marv, stay tuned for the next episode. Marv, gang!